How about you be on your back the whole game too, you punk?
Yeah, but you gon' feel it, Cooley. I'm telling you, you gon' feel it.
I told you keep that camera running, you might miss something.
We're going to be in your face and letting you know the real talk.
This is the NFL, which stands for not for long.
Well, just a few weeks ago, we were exploding off the launching pad, getting ready for this NFL season to start. But after last Sunday, watching that Chiefs-Texans game, do we even like football anymore?
I had to question it.
Like it? I don't know.
It was one of those deals where I'm sitting in front of that television watching the Chiefs game, as I have every Sunday since I was about 7 years old. And it's one of those games where you just, the team's lifeless. You stare straight ahead. You're wondering why you're not watching Leave It to Beaver on Netflix or something.
I was thinking about joining Survivor, just being stranded on a desert island away from any TV that I could possibly watch football that was played like the Chiefs played it last Sunday.
Hey, man, I know that there's games like that. You go on the road against a playoff team, and Houston's more improved. You gave them credit for that last week. I didn't. I picked the Chiefs in that game. A lot of the things that you talked about kind of came to fruition. Although the Chiefs' defense played a lot better in this game, pass rush is still a problem. The Chiefs' offense, really more importantly, was really lifeless in this game. Alex Smith did not have a particularly good game. Targeted Jerry Maclin 15 times, and I think only 6 completions to
Maclin had some drops. Alex Smith was off target pretty much all day, just could not get in a rhythm as an offense. Spencer Ware had a key fumble there. Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle was getting owned by J.J. Watt, John Simon, whoever they wanted to put over there. It was just an ugly performance from start to finish. You wondered if it was going to be like last week against the Chargers where they could come back, turn it on. I questioned that, wondering if that was a bad thing for them, thinking that they can just flip the switch and turn it on whenever they want. They couldn't on Sunday, and they came out with a loss.
Yeah, 3s don't beat 7s. The Chiefs had to settle for some field goals and couldn't get enough stops to get back in the game.
Just needed 3 field goals in that last 52 seconds, and they would have been the winners.
Well, there was some injuries on that Chiefs offensive line. You had Ehringer out, and you also were dealing
Tardif was out, yeah.
Duvernay Tardif. But as we're going to talk with our special correspondent, Sean Salisbury, sometimes it's all about the next man up. Zach Fulton had he played a lot on that offensive line 2 years ago. Jarry played a lot last year. And so there's really no excuse for that. And we're going to talk with Sean Salisbury about the next man up philosophy in the NFL, which with injuries the way they are.
If only everyone could be like the New England Patriots. Next man up, that could mean a wide receiver at corner, a wide receiver at quarterback. It doesn't matter. Next man up works for them. And for more on that, it's time. Sean Smack Unfiltered. Let's go to Sean Salisbury.
All right, guys, thanks. This week, we're going to hit the next man up thing that coaches talk about in the NFL. And it goes around every team. We're not going to feel sorry for you. Guys get hurt. Hey, one team's loss is another team's gain, right? Well, how about the Minnesota Vikings? You don't think they have to have the next man up thing going on with them? Bridgewater, Khalil, Adrian Peterson. And now Sam Bradford's in his second week, but they don't have time to bleed. They got to play again. They got to go out and win. They got to rely on their defense. They got to have it step up. Nobody does it better than Belichick. No Brady, no Garoppolo, now Jacoby Brissett, a third-round pick that hasn't started a game in his life, and the Texans are coming to town with that fierce defense. Some coaches don't believe in the next man up. They'll tell you they do, but they're not sure their backups or their front office did right to give them that type of player. The great coaches, and I think Mike Zimmer's going to be a great one, Bill Belichick obviously, do believe in it because they get guys that are backups. They expect to play like starters, and if they don't, they expect it to at least be close and keep them in the competition. Don't sleep on the Patriots, and sure as hell don't sleep on the Vikings with their next man up mentality. There's a reason why both of those teams will be in the hunt in December, January, and I think one of them is going to be around in February. Back to you guys.
Well, good stuff from Sean as always. That's my favorite segment on this show, including when we're talking Sean Smack Unfiltered, talking about the Patriots, just the insertion of Jimmy Garoppolo and the Patriots starting 2-0 without a lot of their key weapons. Garoppolo's hurt. What is this looking like? Because a lot of people were talking about he might be out 8 weeks. Now they're like, can they rush him back in there and start? Or is Jacoby Brissett going to have to play this game against the Texans? Because we're going to find out, of course, as it's happening. You're watching the game right now as we're probably airing. But that question will be answered. But the Patriots, they talked about, if they could just get out of this 2-2. Well, they're already 2-0. If they can beat the Texans. boy, that's going to be something else for them.
Yeah, they've got Jacoby Brissett probably out there. They're trying to talk Garoppolo in it. Well, Tom Brady would go out there, so you need to go out there if you want to be the next Tom Brady and the next man in line for the New England Patriots. But right now it stands Jacoby Brissett to start and backup quarterback Julian Edelman.
Emergency QB.
Yeah.
QB2.
The old Kent State.
QB11.
Yeah.
I kind of hope it comes to that for the Patriots.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him beat the Texans with a wide receiver at quarterback.
No one's feeling sorry for New England, of course.
No.
They're already 2-0. They've already won their first 2 games. No one feeling sorry for the Denver Broncos with Trevor Siemian, who have won again. The Colts look to be a mess to me.
As you like to say, Denver going Denver.
Denver gonna Denver. That's what they do. You put Trevor Siemian in there. He's not really been a problem, but he's not really setting the world on fire as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Easily the worst quarterback. Easily the worst quarterback in the AFC West.
Yeah, he's got to be.
on.
I mean, Alex Smith had a bad performance, but over the long term,
Right.
Alex Smith's going to average out to be a better quarterback than Trevor Siemian is this season. And that Broncos defense, I mean, it doesn't matter what they do on offense. We saw that last year with Peyton Manning, bumbling around, could throw the ball 5 yards, and they still won a Super Bowl. And Von Miller, as a Chiefs fan, coming off that edge, wearing the number 58, getting off the snap like he does. I mean, he looks like a Derek Thomas out there, and that pains us to see as Justin Houston cannot get on the field, and we're not even sure if he's alive. Has anyone seen this man? He just randomly has this surgery. No one's heard or seen from him. Is there a funeral procession being held somewhere? Can I be a pallbearer for his funeral? I just don't know.
Well, we may not know until week 8 or 9 what his status is. But I tell you what, we're going to talk about this and much more with our guests. We're going to bring on, we got big guests all over the place. We've already had Sean Salisbury. We got Jamal Anderson, former Falcons running back, coming up later in the show.
They got a big win against the Raiders.
We're going to talk about that. But to talk about the Chiefs and more, we have our buddy Shaun Smith, former Chiefs defensive tackle. Shaun, welcome to the show, man. How's everything going?
I can't complain, man. If I complain, who's going to listen?
Well, I tell you what, we were tweeting back and forth, watching some football on Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs looked a little lifeless against the Houston Texans, your old team, the Kansas City Chiefs, that is. What are you seeing out of this Chiefs team so far? A good comeback in week 1, but boy, a little lifeless in Houston, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they used all they gas the first week trying to make that comeback. I think going into week 3, they should bounce back against the Jets. Right now, we're going against Revis Island and the rest of the good defense the Jets have up front. So it's going to be important that the Chiefs establish a run game early in order to win this game. And also, I think for the Chiefs to win week ahead, they'll have to have somebody score that they special teams play.
Well, out of all the great football action last week, we chose to watch this Chiefs-Texans game, probably the worst one of the weekend. And we saw Mitchell Schwartz out there not really earning his money, getting blown by. J.J. Watt, John Simon, a linebacker who not many people know. All comers were blown by Mitchell Schwartz. What'd you see out of him?
Mr. Schwartz need to give a refund now. It's a bad game for him. I mean, every game is not going to be perfect. I think he'll probably bounce back. J.J. Watt is just a beast. I mean, he was maintaining them early in the game. Something about the time the first hurricane, the beast was unleashed. So, other than that, I don't think we have enough depth to, switch him and get somebody else. So it'll be interesting to see what happens how he plays this week.
Well, Shaun, I want to go back to your days. 2010 was such an amazing year here in Kansas City because you emerged out of absolutely nowhere. I want to talk about the 2 players that played on that defensive line with you because you had highly drafted Glenn Dorsey and Tyson Jackson, both on that defensive line. But Shaun, no doubt about it, you were the best player on that defensive line, and you were an undrafted player coming out of college, man. And just talk about that 2010 team that you were on and playing with Dorsey and Jackson and how you were able to have success while they seemed to struggle.
I think the reason I was able to have more success than them is because I'm not going to say they didn't work hard. I just had a different work ethic. I always had to prove myself every year. In my 10-year career, I had to prove myself every year going to training camp that I belong. No matter every year the teams I've been on there, draft a guy, I worked them. And I played them because I studied the game. I think that's the reason what made me last so long being an undrafted player is that I watched did the little things, stay after, took care of my body, and all the good things, did stuff in the community, kept my name clean for the most part. It was just experience. I mean, it was nothing to take away from Tyson. Tyson started coming along, and when he left Kansas City, he actually played better in the Atlanta Falcons defense, because I think the thing about when you draft guys, everybody doesn't fit in your scheme. You try to get guys that you think to fit in your scheme, but that's not the case. And then also when Glenn Dorsey left, I mean, he excelled in San Francisco. I think he's hurt right now, but he's excelled. You know, some guys just don't fit the system.
Going back in your career again, we've got you played for this coach in 2 different locations in Cleveland, Kansas City. Romeo Crennel, he's definitely a respected defensive coordinator. What are your thoughts as Romeo as a head coach? Because from afar, it kind of looked like he was lost, just wasn't sure what was going on with the entire team as you look at it. Definitely in Kansas City, we saw him, and he went 2-14 with a team we thought was much more talented than that.
With that being, you know, Romeo's like my dad. I tell people that all the time. He understood me, and I understood him. I don't think he was lost. It's just kind of hard when you give players freedom and try to treat them like men, and they don't respond the right way. He was a great defensive coach. We had struggles offensively. Can't get the ball down the field. We just had a bunch of struggles. And we had the turmoil with the Javar Belcher stuff going on. This is just a lot of things, I think, as far as him being a head coach, I think he still can be a head coach. You see him be dialed up for Houston this weekend. He's an excellent defensive coordinator. He's a defensive coach. So it's kind of hard when you don't have, I'm not going to say the coaches on offense wasn't good enough, but you need to have a better base of guys to be your offensive coordinator. Just everybody in general to move your offense.
Well, Romeo's defense definitely looked really good against the Chiefs on Sunday, so you definitely could take that from it. But, you mentioned Javon Belcher, and 2012 was such a tough year for Kansas City, and I know you actually rejoined the team in November, late in the season, and then, man, it was tragedy struck just a month later in December. Javon Belcher, of course, murdering his girlfriend and then killing him outside the Chiefs facility. I know you knew Javon really well. I mean, that had to just shake up the team, but you guys were able to come out and get a win following that game, which is, I think, a good tribute to the people that were affected by that tragedy.
Yeah, it was a tragic moment for the whole organization, just teammates, guys that were close to him, and everything. Couldn't believe things happened. I mean, that shows to let you know that CTE is alive. Guys do suffer with brain issues, thoughts, crazy thoughts, different things. People look at it, you guys are NFL players. You make all the money, but we're still human beings. And I think a lot of people forget that. It's a difference from if I go to the store. I haven't played in 3 years. If I go get in some trouble right now, they're going to say former NFL player. When you guys get in trouble, it is like a small little blurb about it. It's that. You know what I mean? So we're held to a different standard, and that's the lifestyle we chose. So you just got to be humble and know how to handle that. Some guys don't. Really don't.
Oh, absolutely. And Shaun, before we let you go, you see a guy like Marcus Peters here in Kansas City, and a guy that's very emotional. He's already been flagged for a personal foul penalty. You see that it's now a point of emphasis. Personal fouls, taunting, any type of physicality. But Shaun, you yourself, my man, were known to be a little physical. Get down there and you get a little nasty at times if you had to get, whether it's just talk about that. I mean, was that kind of an intimidation factor for you? Just trying to get in people's heads. I know a lot of trash talking going on, a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving.
There's a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of talking crap. Some people spitting on guys, poking guys in the eyes, all types of stuff goes on around the foul. But the biggest thing with me, man, people say I talk a lot of trash. My biggest thing was it's a mental game. Half of the game of football is mental. People don't understand that. If I get in your head mentally, that makes you jump off sides, lose focus. So if you lose focus, that makes me make an inside move, outside move, or get to the quarterback, or stop the run. Now I'm in your head. Now you can't. Now I know I got you, and it'll especially get in trouble. If I find out you got in trouble, a DUI or anything, I'm going to make fun of you because now I really have you. I got the best of you. I get you to retaliate, get the 15-yarder, and I'm good because I do it at a crucial time when we need a turnover or need to make sure y'all lose yards, get them a second long, third and long, and that's what I did, and I'm good at it. Hey, South of the South, but that was just my New York style of growing up. You know, just playing basketball, always talking smack and getting people head. You know, when you get somebody head, it's like your ball getting in your head. You get some bottle later. You can't function.
And was that the inspiration behind the grabbing? We saw that in 2010 against the Browns, Alex Mack against the 49ers the next week. Anthony Davis, you got a $10,000 fine, but I'm sure you got in their head, so mission accomplished. Is that right?
Yeah, but also I got in their head, and can't accuse me of anything if I didn't get innocent until proven guilty. And I never was proven guilty, and I didn't get fined $10,000. They tried to, and then when they looked at the film and realized you didn't have enough evidence to prove me guilty for anything. So,
hey, winner on all fronts.
Absolutely, Sean. Dude, I tell you, man, it's been we were just such huge fans of yours, and we still are. Tell you what, man, let's keep in touch throughout this football season. Let's tweet back and forth during some of these games, and we'd love to have you on again, talking some South Carolina, talking some Chiefs. Man, we just love to have you on. We can't thank you enough, man.
oh man, appreciate it for having me, man. You guys have a good one.
You too, man. We respect your effort as a Chief. I mean, you were always one of our favorites and just a talented defender on that defensive line, even over 2 top 5 picks. We always loved your effort and your go-to.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thanks
That
a
means
lot.
to me.
You betcha. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sean. Good stuff as always.
I was a big Shaun Smith fan. I'm serious.
We have Tyson Jackson, Glenn Dorsey out there, 2 top 5 picks, and they couldn't do anything. Shaun Smith comes off the street and just getting in the backfield, causing negative plays immediately, whether it's at nose for Ron Edwards or at defensive end for Tyson Jackson. I mean, he was always coming on making plays, and I love that man. I have a place for my heart in him. So yeah.
Good stuff from him, and good to hear that. And, you know, we're going to be talking with Jamal Anderson coming up because we talked about the AFC West. We've talked about the Denver Broncos and our thoughts on that Chiefs game. But the Oakland Raiders were a team that everyone thought was going to explode, and they have offensively. The Oakland Raiders with Derek Carr, Michael Crabtree, and Amari Cooper. And Murray's running the ball well for the Raiders right now. But defensively, not for long. My not for long of the week goes to the Raiders defense because they're not going to win for long, giving up 1,035 yards in 2 games, which breaks a record that was 65 years old. So I don't like where the Raiders defense is at right now. The Falcons get a big win, though. After losing it to Tampa Bay, they go and get a big win on the road, and Matty Ice playing pretty good football. Yeah,
everyone wants to talk about the Falcons. We kind of wonder where they've been. They were kind of a perennial playoff team getting there, and can they do some? Can they make it to the Super Bowl? Can they take that next step? They took huge steps back, especially with Tony Gonzalez retiring, and we thought losing to the Bucs last week, who just got killed by the Cardinals this week. What are they going to have? And they come out and everyone's pumping up the Raiders, and they're going to be the next big thing in the AFC, and they go out and they beat the Raiders. So,
and as we wrap up here, is just anything else jump off the page at you? Because
I got to go with my not for long. Your not for long was the Oakland Raiders. My not for long has to be everyone throwing shade on the Los Angeles Rams, calling them the worst team. They're not going to win a game. We sat up here and said it's over for them. Sean Salisbury was on saying they need Jared Goff in there now. They're not going to win a game. I was calling for Jeff Fisher's head. Everybody was. They come out with a huge win over the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, they still don't get in the end zone, but that defense showed up. 9-3, a sloppy game, but the Los Angeles Rams get a win. So the not for long is on us, the media, everyone throwing shade at the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, we both did do that, and as we looked on, we heard about Sean Salisbury earlier in the show talking about next man up, the Minnesota Vikings. They trade for Sam Bradford. They have Adrian Peterson go down. They have problems all over the place, and in a very big, Sunday night game, they beat the Green Bay Packers. I'm not sure what to make of the Green Bay Packers because it looks like they've kind of picked up where they left off at the end of last year, which is a little shaky, but still a very good team. They're going to be battle. That's going to be a division battle. But does Minnesota really keep in this? Do they really have the firepower to do that? Even with,
I don't think they have that real next man up mentality. I mean,
Sean Salisbury says they do.
Well, Sean Salisbury also talked about how some coaches like to say that, but they don't really believe it. They don't think that next man can really come and pick up where the star left off, like in Adrian Peterson. They've got Jerick McKinnon back there as running back. They don't think he can really pick up, and they're just missing too much. Matt Khalil's down. Adrian Peterson's gone for a couple months. Xavier Rhodes, their star corner, is out for a while. So
Jets, Chiefs. We're going to leave you with this because this is a big one. Kansas City, noon at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday. Chiefs and Jets. Jets coming in with all sorts of firepower. It's probably the best receiving tandem in the game right now with Decker, with Brandon Marshall, and you've got the rookie from Nebraska playing great too. And Ryan Fitzpatrick can sling it. This is going to be a problem all day for the Chiefs, and I don't like this matchup.
I don't either. You also have Matt Forte in the backfield. That defense getting after you. Leonard Williams, Muhammad Wilkerson, Sheldon Richardson.
Big Sheld.
Darrelle Revis has had troubles, but I think he's going to get in a rhythm this week. I think he's going to get back to form, and I definitely like that. Too much firepower Jets against that Chiefs defense. I don't know what the Chiefs offense will have. Going up against that.
I think they'll
Jets
respond
defense.
at home.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a shootout, but I got to go Jets in this game.
I got it 31-23 Jets. Maybe that Arrowhead Magic. Maybe the Chiefs can get back on track, but I don't see it. They'll have to prove me wrong. I'll have to eat crow on that one if they prove me wrong.
I hope so. And you guys, thanks so much for joining us here on the Not For Long Pro Football Show here on the Great American Sports Network, GreatAmericanSportsNetwork.com.
Catch us on our Twitter at GASN Sports. Definitely, we love the interaction. We love hearing what you guys think about what our guests have to say. Definitely Shaun Smack Unfiltered, what he has to say. Catch him at Shaun Unfiltered on Twitter. We cannot thank you enough for watching. We love the interaction. We love going back and forth with you guys about all the NFL action as we head into Week 3. Thank you for watching.